Back in 2023, my summer of festivals was going off with a bang. This was me and friends at FIB in Benicassim. Wild times. Now I had to drive the TimmyBago nearly 1,000 miles from the east of Spain all the way back to Calais. Nearly 15 hours of driving. All this was going swimmingly. Good news so far, until I hit the Massif Central in the middle of France where the TimmyBago started to struggle. Was the TimmyBago going to keep going?
Hopefully we can just limp back to Calais.
How would I get him fixed?
Next stop is going to be a garage to get that engine management right sorted.
And would I make it to Calais in time?
I've got a ferry booked for 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Join me on this van life adventure through France as the realities of living in a van come home to roost. Well, here we go. This is the realities of van life. Bonnet open by the side of the motorway. Piling quite a long way today, all the way from Benicassim in Spain. I've made it up to Clermont-Ferrand in the middle of France. But engine management warning light came on and another warning light as well. And they're just lacking a bit of power in the engine, so I've stopped, tried to figure stuff out. There's a few things, well, there's lots of things it could be, to be honest, but this cap here was kind of almost like blown off. It was at a weird angle, kind of lifted up. It's like it popped off a little bit. And looking inside, there is zero, I mean zero visible in this tub here, engine coolant, which I understand is quite vital. Just done a bit of research and it sounds like, well, I'm certainly going to need to get some coolant in there. But until I can get to a place that has some, it is not advisable, but just putting plain water in there will be better than having nothing. So, I mean, it's the end of the day today now, so I'm parked up. The engine's going to cool down overnight. Chuck a bit of water in there tomorrow, and then fingers crossed. Look how posh these toilets are then. All the sink and stuff. All the towels, toilet roll, radio. It's like a spaceship. This is a truck stop. Crazy. Right, here we go. Water's going in. No idea how much. Need to leave some space for some coolant afterwards anyway. Most that's disappeared, I think. But I'm not going to lie, it's kind of hard to tell. I think we've got some in this bowl now. Right, I can see it there. It's below the minimum, but it's less than 10 miles up the road to the garage. Well, hopefully get some coolant to mix in with that. Yes, not going to lie, pretty nervous about how this might pan out today. Knew it was never going to be plain sailing. It never is with vehicles this age. But hopefully get to the garage, get the coolant I need. Hopefully that will fix everything. Chances of that actually are though fairly slim because I think these lights are going to keep popping on in any case because their error codes have been popped up now, so they have to be cleared by a garage, by mechanics. So I think that will be the next step afterwards. But we shall see. I'm going to be driving very conservatively. There's somebody having a pee up against the tree there, even though there's a toilet block right there. Pray from saying. Getting overtaken by trucks now. Going down here, I'm just going to stick it in neutral so the engine is working as little as possible. One thing should be said though, even without that coolant, or with the lack of coolant, the temperature gauge sits at 90 and it's never moved since I've had this van. Ah, god damn it. There's the exclamation mark with the cog. I was hoping that wasn't going to happen. So I'm wondering whether the temperature gauge actually is just broken. Because it sits right in the middle. Also, I did kind of check the engine yesterday. Like, you know, you can kind of tell if an engine is fizzing hot. It didn't seem to be. It was a very hot day yesterday. That being said, the cap of the coolant tank had popped off, which indicates maybe it was. And you can feel it, the engine's got into, they call it limp mode, where it's just got no power. You don't notice it so much on the flats or downhill, but as soon as you're going uphill, you just realise it's got nothing about it at the moment. Right, let's do this. Well, no idea which one of these to take, but they both say suitable for all internal combustion engines, so I'm going Gonna go with the blue.
Alrighty, again, no idea really how much to put in. There's no instructions. I know this needs to be watered down, which is what's going to happen with water in there, but the ratio, and also I've no idea how much is in there anyway, so I'm just going to fill it up between the min and the max and see what happens. This is quite nasty on the skin though, so I've got water here to wash my hands off in case I get any on me at all. Ooh, there's a bit of pressure in there that time. That water now looks a bit orangey as well, so maybe there was still some coolant like deep down in the tank, in the pipes. Slow and steady. Yeah, this is all going in. That's helpful. I didn't really want to be carrying this around with me with it being so like nasty. The line in there now is right in between the min and the max, so that is what I was hoping as well. Next stop is going to be a garage to get that engine management light sorted.
It's turned into a bit of a grey day, not just with the performance of the TimmyBago, but it's raining. This is the first bit of anything but complete baking sunshine that I've experienced on this little road trip here in Europe, so kind of suits the mood really. It's life, baby, got to get on with it. I do have coffee though, so it's not all bad. Okay, 25 euros. We ran the diagnostics. He's running well. Like, feels like he's running well. A little splutter last night, but other than that, feels like he's running well. But he's managed to get the code to reset, which is kind of the key thing to getting going again. And he gave me some advice. It's probably the airflow meter, he thinks. If it keeps running well, it keeps running well. If the code comes back, then check out the airflow meter. The next test is going to be whether that exclamation mark and gear symbol comes back up again. All good so far. We're getting to the crunch time though, where that light came on previously. So, can you tell what this face means? The cog with the exclamation mark light came back on again. And it seems to be every time like the engine is using a bit of torque, like any time it's really pushing up a hill. And what's causing more stress around this really is that I've got a ferry booked for 4 p.m. tomorrow. And there's about, well, actually at this rate, there's going to be about 7.5, 8 hours left of driving before then, which means that any kind of delay, like if I had to stop and wait for a part to be fitted or ordered or anything like that, that means that ferry cross is gone. And the festival that I'm going to this weekend starts the following day. So the money that I've paid for that would also potentially be unfulfilled or unrewarded or unutilized. So that's why this is causing a little bit more stress than it otherwise would. But the plan is going to be do this in short little chunks, drive as conservatively as possible. Anytime that light comes on, just stop for a little while, let the old fella take a little break and then move on. And hopefully we can just kind of limp back to Calais, get on the ferry and then speak to somebody in the UK about this, because the guy at the garage was great, but his English was next to zero, which is the same as my French. Good news so far. I think we've been going about 25, 30 minutes since the last stop, and I managed to keep it in a range where that light hasn't come back on again. Alrighty, we did pretty well that time. I think about an hour's worth of driving. The light came on again though, and not on a steep bit. So maybe there's something in a combination of torque and time and the combined factor. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, if we can do that all the way back an hour at a time, I'll be really happy, to be honest. I'm going to try and get most of it done today. Then if we hit any problems, further problems, we've got more time to deal with it, basically. That's the thought. So here at the service station, the air somewhere in the middle of France, and gonna get in there, get some lunch, do a bit of work, and then we will see how long the TimmyBago lasts on the next journey. All right, before we get going again, I'm going to check oil levels and the levels of that coolant. It was between the min and the max earlier, and now it's below the min. I'm trying to see if there's any kind of obvious leak. These are the in and out ones here. This keeps coming off as well. All right then, oil. So according to that,
too much in there, to be honest. Should be somewhere in this range. Who knows, maybe the engine's still warm a bit. I've left it for about an hour though, so that should be fine, I think, as much as I know about this stuff, which is not a lot. So we'll head off and do another chunk, see how far we can get without that light coming back on, and then we'll go from there. And I'll keep my eyes on the levels of that coolant as well. It does seem like there might be a leak somewhere with that, because I'm sure that's lower than it was before. Well, it definitely is lower, it's just whether it's leaking or not, or whether it's just compressed, because it does get compressed in there, so hard to know for now. Watch your space. Oh, gutted, absolutely gutted. 3 minutes in. Both lights have come on. Now it's gamble time. Do we try and limp all the way back, or do we try and find another garage to reset it? It's almost certainly going to go again. It's going to need a fix. Yeah, I'm not sure. One thing is, I can't stop on this road, certainly anytime soon. Alrighty, it's been about 20 minutes, so we are pulling into another air, hoping there's going to be a parking space in the shade. Maybe this is a little bit of shade. It's something, it's not nothing. And what I'm also going to do is take a look under the bonnet right away to get an idea of what the levels look like on that coolant jar. Now it's just been running immediately for 20 minutes just to try and get a handle on whether it expands or compresses. There we are. I think that looks almost exactly the same as it was 20 minutes ago. So I'm not sure there's too much you can do about that. It doesn't feel overly hot in here, so I'm sure that can't be the problem now. Might well just be that filter that you mentioned. I'm going to sit here for a bit and let him cool off again, and we will see where we are in a short while. It's just frustrating, isn't it? It's just frustrating. Might also look up that filter that you mentioned, that might be the problem, because if people online, you know, the online experts, of which there are many, think that like it's kind of okay to run the motor with that filter being a problem, then I'll feel more comfortable about driving onwards. Whereas if people are like, no, if that error code comes up, you need to stop immediately, then I'll trust that. So let's do some investigation now. Okay, everything I've read suggests it's something called the EGR valve, and that basically does something with exhaust gases to make sure the engine's running at the right mixture. Yes, it needs to be checked, yes, it needs to be cleaned or replaced, but it seems like it's very unlikely to cause like complete engine failure. The fact that it feels like it's running okay, like it's not running badly at all, makes me think I'm gonna at least risk it for some more time today. Yep, let's go for it. Let's go for another blat. If we can just get back to the UK, it will feel much more easy to deal with, I think. Right, and while we're at it, this is what I've been taking the toll roads a lot of the time because it's a bit short on time, really. I like going the longer route otherwise, but this is essentially what I have to do at every toll booth, because obviously I'm a right-hand drive, so everything is over on the left-hand side. So we get as close as we can, neutral, handbrake, down the seatbelt, climb over. Oh, god damn it, it's just payment one, no ticket, straight payment. There, thing goes up, back over, into gear, handbrake off, and away we go. Every single time. Then, as soon as you can, seatbelt back on, and you're away. Right, pulled up at another air. Now I've got to go running. You still there? Okay, that's a run done. It was pretty minging for a lot of it, to be honest. Industrial, just south of Paris. But then I got down to the River Seine, ran along the banks, and the sunset came down, and it was just beautiful. And suddenly it all seemed to make sense.
Saints. Make Saints. I'm overtired, I think. Anyway, this is not a good place to sleep. That road is busy and we're very close to it. There's nowhere better in this parking lot. So while I'm still awake and I've got energy after that run, I'm going to take my sandwiches on the road, and as has become the modus operandi, we are going to try and get a few more kilometres in the can this evening and another short little stint for the TimmyBago so he doesn't get too tired. It's 10:15 now, so it reckons now 3 hours 26 to go, 327 kilometres. If we can get that down to like 250 or something this evening, that will be magic. Let's get out of here and see if we can find a quieter, more peaceful air. This is about the busiest one I've come across, or certainly that I've been in anyway. Look at all these trucks, loads of them. Absolutely tons. Then alongside that as well, we're literally right next to the road. And my little van has got very little insulation in it, including sound insulation. Okay, fingers crossed, all goes well. That is foreshadowing in real time is what that's called. Well, 20 minutes in and we've hit some traffic. Not too much by all accounts. So we're just sliding along here. But did you see that light in the top of the sky there? Guess what that is? Bearing in mind, we are just south of Paris. You're going to do well to see that, I should think. Maybe I'll zoom in and put an arrow on the edit. Eiffel Tower, baby! There's the light. It's like a big, pretty lighthouse. Now, half the reason of doing this more driving now is because I'm wide awake. If I don't thoroughly exhaust myself running, then I'm typically kind of buzzed afterwards. And also this past weekend, we kind of stayed out late. I mean, it's half past 6 in the morning. That's quite late, isn't it? The sun was coming up by the time we got home on Saturday night / Sunday morning. So my body clock is a little bit out of whack. So good to make use of this time. Get closer to Calais. Less than 300 Ks now to go. No gear, exclamation mark, warning sign as yet. I'm kind of thinking we might get well out the other side of Paris here, because just sleeping anywhere near here is going to be just a bit minging, to be honest. The air quality is not great. I really felt that on my run. So if we can get out the other side into a bit of a greener area, a bit of a quieter area, it seems like a good thing to do, doesn't it? Bed by midnight, maybe? Anyway, we're just about to go into a tunnel. Look. Well, there we go, folks. As usual in these situations, I drove quite a lot further than I was expecting. And it is now exactly midnight, but in the morning we'll only have 2 hours and 7 minutes to go. 202 kilometers, which sounds fantastic. The plan is going to be to go in and use the bathroom in this. This might be the biggest air I've seen so far. It's enormous. I bet there's a shower in there as well, actually. I might take my towel in with me and see. Oh, that was magic. It's going to be so nice going to bed completely clean. I do love doing my outdoor showers. Yeah, no, I love them, especially when the weather's good. But a proper hot shower with a proper wash down every now and again is amazing. Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Au revoir. That's how it works. Free to use. They just hold on to your car key while you're in there. Not really sure why. I guess just as a security on the key itself. Would be a bit of a pain if people kept walking off with the keys. Right, there's a TimmyBago. We're not as far from the road here as I hoped. It's just over there. There goes the truck. But what I've noticed is that kind of road noise, kind of a distant hum, is actually quite nice. It's quite soothing. It's kind of like white noise, and I think it helps me sleep. And the light makes no difference because we've got everything's blacked out inside the van at night time. So I think we're good. I will see you in the morning. Peace. Morning, team. The benefit of doing that driving last night was it meant I could allow myself a bit of a lay-in this morning. However, I was a bit shocked when I woke up and it was 11 o'clock. So I've grabbed myself some coffee, grabbed myself some pain au chocolat. We've got 200 kilometers to go, just over 2 hours. Calais, here we come.
Should say this was probably aided, this lie-in, by the fact that it's grey, overcast, and not cold by any means, but relative to the rest of this trip, it is not at all warm today.
And as the kilometres clicked down, I got ever more confident that we were going to make it. Until... Nah, just kidding. The TimmyBago was a brave, brave boy and made it all the way to Calais.
We made it. Not gonna lie, that was quite stressful, particularly yesterday when we just didn't know whether he was gonna make it through or not. I got more and more confident as the time went on that he certainly was not getting any worse, that's for sure. And in fact, drove perfectly fine. Like, unless there was a really steep hill or I needed to like accelerate quickly, which you don't need to do on motorways, then he drove just absolutely fine. So we've made it onto the ferry and are going to bring this episode to a close now. But join me in the next one, because we will be trying to make sure he's fixed properly, see how much that costs, and we are going to be trying to get to the next and last festival of this summer, for me anyway. So if you've enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already to make sure you don't miss the next episode, and I will see you then. Peace!